Surprise!
You are going to Taipei.
Like Taiwan?
We want to give you something special.
It's going to be the perfect summer.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Sophie Ha. Like, haha. I'm Ever.
Do you go to college?
Are you excited for the summer? See any guys you like? Do you not like to talk? I don't really know if excited is the right word.
Arvin, it's such a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you.
I'm so excited to talk to you about this film and particularly your expertise in rom-coms because, you know, this is not your first rom-com.
No, it's not.
Yeah, so I want to hear from you. What do you think makes for the perfect rom-com?
That's a good question. I think the world it's set in is pretty important, honestly. I always think of like rom-coms having like a very specific world.
Mhm.
And then I think, you know, the tricky part is if the girl and guy or girl guy whatever, they can't seem like they're gonna fall in love right away. Like they have to have like some kind of like odd. They have to be at odds at first, I think. And then those odds have to kind of change as the story goes on. But I think that you always have to flip it a little bit, so it can't always be too easy.
What I love about this story and how you did it is like it isn't just a traditional love story of a girl and a boy falling in love, or even just a love story of falling in love with yourself. It is a love story about falling in love with a location.
Right. No, definitely when we were shooting it, we were thinking of Taipei as being like a character. Like, and I was saying that the world that they fall in love with kind of helps like the love story. Like sometimes you can like not have to work so hard on the actual tensions of the scenes if you feel like the world they're in is like already so romantic or that's already so charming that it gives them like an extra lift.
Wow, the city is just
Incredible.
yeah.
You have xiaolongbao?
It's getting a lot better.
Chinese word can you write?
So what is it about Taipei that makes it the perfect place to fall in love with?
Well, it's like a city, you know, it's a very like walkable city. It's like a city where like the scale of it really feels very intimate. And I think the other thing that we really wanted to capture, like it's like a very nighttime city where like, you know, things really, really happen at night. And like it's like the night, it's like a city that never kind of shuts down. So it gives you like again like this kind of like magic in the air at night. So there's a couple scenes in the movie really wanted to capture that feeling of like, you know, these kids at night and like what it feel like to, you know, be falling in love in the middle of the night.
I want to know how you became attached to the project. What was it about the book that really drew you in?
Yeah, I mean the book is it's so fun and it has like such a kind of you know, Ever such a cute heroine, and just the idea of like, you know, the fish out of water that she's her parents are from Taiwan, but she's never been to Taiwan. She's like from Midwest America. So that idea of her being dropped into like this you know, totally new world. You know, I had something similar to me, something similar for me happened when I was in my early 20s as well. You know, I moved to Asia when I was like around Ever's age, you know, again, 20 years ago. But I think that kind of journey gave me a lot. You know, I started making films in Asia. I started becoming like, you know, I kind of really grew up in Asia. Even though I was in my 20s, I don't think I really found myself until I was in Taiwan.
You are here to learn and experience your cultural heritage.
Parents send their kids here because they think it's a cultural program, but we're all here because we know what it really is.
Stop!
One big party.
It's so written into the book or interwoven in the book that like she's a dancer, but she doesn't really, you know, dance. You don't feel like she comes to life as a dancer until she gets to Taiwan. So I think I always imagine like there would be some, you know, we would do that. We would have some kind of like dancing in the middle of the street or middle of the night, in the middle of the city, something that just, you know, like to capture the idea of like, you know, she doesn't really come alive until she gets to Taiwan. So I think eventually we came up with the idea of her dancing on that sky bridge. So the idea of like, you know, she's like floating atop the city. So I think that was the one image that I really wanted to like capture or create when I read the book and the screenplay.
I do want to talk to you a little bit about the casting process because it is such an instrumental part of this project. What were you looking for, particularly when it came to the part of Ever Wong?
Yeah, she had to, you know, have that kind of like, I guess like kind of like a naivete, you know, she, like hadn't experienced a lot of the world. There's a kind of still kind of a purity to her and like a sweetness to her, but then she also had to have like her own kind of like kind of like a quirky, kind of a quirkiness or like kind of like a sense of humor that you would buy other guys falling in love with that. So trying to find that balance of someone who would feel like has that innocence of someone who's never traveled outside much of her own hometown, and yet that you could feel like when she gets there, she can really come alive. So Ever for us and Ashley, the actress that plays her, really had that quality when we met her or when we auditioned her and like read with her. So yeah, she really captured that feeling really, really well.
Love in Taipei is out on Paramount Plus. I'm Sari Cohen. I'll see you next time.
What now? Forever, ever?
If I just let go.